guys, it's Aoife from Forever Easy Died Laughing, and I am here with a really big book haul. So remember in August when I said I wasn't going to buy any books in September? I was a massive liar and I bought a lot of books in September. So I have a bunch of books here that I need to show you, and I think I'm just going to start with some books that I got unsolicited from publishers this month, and I'm going to start with one that I actually forgot about last month, and that is The World Raven by A.J. Smith. I think this is a fourth book in a high fantasy trilogy. I haven't actually read any of the other books, so that is something that I have to get onto before I read this one, obviously, but it is a nice big chunky book and I'm really happy to have it, and I feel like it is going to be a fantasy. Just even by the cover I feel like it's going to be a fantasy series that I will like, so I'm looking forward to getting around to this at some point in the future. I don't know when, but hopefully soonish enough. The next book I have is also from Head of Zeus, and that is Warheart by Terry Goodkind. The next book that I also got from Head of Zeus, thankfully, is the first book in a series, and it is Conjurer by John and Carol Barrowman. The next book I got is from O'Brien's Publishing here in Ireland, and it is Run for the Hills by Tom McGaughran. This is absolutely beautiful. I just was loving this cover when I got it the other day. It's just stunning, I think. And now I will get to all the books that I bought this month. As you guys know, probably know, I went on a book buying day with Leanne from over at Leanne Rose and Katie at Katie Loves to Read, and I bought a bunch of books there, so I will leave them for the very end, and I will just start with the books that I bought separate from that, and I will start with one I got at the very start of the month, which was The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo by Amy Schumer. I was never like a massive fan of Amy Schumer, but only in the last few months I've really started to warm to her, and I don't really know why, but I just decided out of the blue, I was like, actually I will get her book because I am really intrigued. I've heard really good things about it. I've heard that it's not just kind of this fluffy kind of trying really hard to be funny. I've heard there's actually quite deep moments in it and real moments in it, so I am looking forward to reading this and seeing what it's like. The next four books I have here are all from the bookshop.ie again, which I will leave a link to down below, and I also got a bunch of books last month from there as well, so I will link that video again if you want to see that, if you haven't seen that. And the first book I got was The Girl Who Just Appeared by Jonathan Harvey. This sounds really good. This is about a girl who is adopted, and she's trying to find her birth parents, and then it has it's kind of like taking place in two different time periods. There's now, and then there's a time period in the 1980s, which is about a 15-year-old, and it's kind of how he has something to do with the girl who is adopted and is trying to find her birth parents in the present day, and kind of how all those stories interlink. The next book is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I don't even know what this is about. I think it's about a mother and a son, and that's as much as I know, but it is Donna Tartt. I've heard really great things about her writing, so I saw it for €2 and I was like, yeah, I might as well pick this up. The next book I have is White Teeth by Zadie Smith. Again, I don't know anything about this, but I want to read some Zadie Smith. I got a book of hers last month, which I think was on beauty, so I want to try and just start picking up some of her books because I've heard really great things about her, so I'm looking forward to reading this. The next book I got is The Blackstone Key by Rose Melican, and this one is set in 1795 in Suffolk, and it's something to do with this weird kind of mystery and something about something called a Blackstone Key, and I'm not really sure, but it's kind of like some mystery adventure-ish kind of book, obviously set in the past, so it's historical as well, and it just caught my eye, I think, and I was like, yeah, it sounds like something I would probably enjoy, so I picked it up. And then the next book I got in just a deals store, and I just got it for $1.50, and it is called The Neverlist by Koth Zan. And from what I hear, this seems to be people who are stuck somewhere. They're stuck in a room or in a tunnel or somewhere underground or something, and it's just about how people keep disappearing and they're trying to figure out what is happening. And it just sounds really good. It sounds kind of like a thrillerish, and seeing if it was only like $1.50, I was like, I might as well just pick it up and see what it's like. And now I'm onto the books that I got while I was with Katie and Leanne, and all of these books were bought in Chapters bookstore in Dublin, and it's the first time I've ever been to Chapters, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's definitely going to be a go-to bookstore all the time for me now because the books were just so cheap. Most of these books were about €5 or €6. Most of them are brand new and they're all in really good condition, and yes, I can't wait to show you all of them. So the first two books I got are both by Daphne du Maurier. The first one is Rebecca. I've heard really good things about this one, and it's something I've been wanting to read for a really long time. And then the next one is Jamaica Inn, and this is also something I've been wanting to read, so I'm really looking forward to getting to these ones pretty soon. The next book I got is something that I've been had my eye on for a really long time, but it was just that bit more expensive. It was about 15-16 euro in most shops, and I just wasn't quite ready to spend that much money on it. And then I saw it for 6 euro in Chapters, and I decided to get it, and it is this beautiful leather bound edition of An Atlas of Tolkien. This is absolutely stunning. It is illustrated. It has some beautiful illustrations in it, if you can see that. And I just really wanted this. There's another one which is, I think, it's a dictionary of Tolkien, I think, and that's definitely something I'll pick up in my next time I go there if it's still reasonably priced, and it's just stunning. I absolutely love it. The next book I got was 100% because of Katie, and it is The Rook by Daniel O'Malley. She has just been raving about this book. I don't even know what it's about. A woman awakens in a London park, dripping wet and surrounded by corpses wearing latex gloves. In her pocket is a letter from her previous self. Rook Thomas, a superpowered operative in Britain's most secret of secret agencies. And then someone tries to kill her again. So that sounds pretty good. So yes, hopefully I will like this, and hopefully I will love it because Katie loves it. So she has pretty good taste in books, so looking forward to reading this. And then I also got The Lie Tree by Frances Hardinge. I don't really need to talk about this book because this book has done the rounds on BookTube, but it's been something I've been really looking forward to reading, so I saw it for €5, decided to get it. And then we have The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. This again is something that most people know about because it is a coming into a movie. It's something to do with a couple, I think, that live in a lighthouse, and they find this boat with a baby on it, and they decide to raise that baby and not tell anyone that they just found the baby. They raise the baby as their own, and then it's about how, I think, something comes back to haunt them about their decision that they made. And it is becoming a movie, or it is a movie already. I think it's out really soon, so I want to read this before I see the movie. The next book is The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivey. This is something I've been wanting to read ever since it first came out in the shops a few years ago. This is something to do with a couple who I think make a little girl out of snow and she comes to life or something like that. Oh no, it's not. It's about a little girl who appears mysteriously. But yes, this sounds really good and I really want to read it. The next one is something I'm going to be reading for October because I wanted to read some spooky books, and it's The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. This is something I've heard a lot about. I've heard it's kind of creepy. I think it might be a zombie novel. I'm not really sure, but I'm looking forward to finding out. And then, as most people know, I did read My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Frederick Backman there a couple of weeks ago, and I did a review, and I will link that review up above, and I really enjoyed his writing in that one, so I wanted to read more of his work. So I got A Man Called O. If it's anything like My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry, it'll be funny, it'll be emotional, it'll kind of just have you up and down and everywhere in terms of your emotions, and I really love those kind of books, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. And then I got Fingersmith by Sarah Waters, and I've been wanting to read something by Sarah Waters for a really long time, so this was $3.99 and I definitely wanted to pick it up because it is just stunning book anyway. I've heard really good things about it and can't wait to read it. And then I also got The Museum of You by Caris Bray. Again, this has kind of done the rounds on BookTube as well, and I've just been really looking forward to reading it. So most of the books that I did get on this shopping trip were all books that I already knew about and that I wanted to read, probably apart from the next one I'm going to show you. And then this one is The True and Splendid History of the Harristown Sisters by Michelle Loverick. This is something that I have no idea what it's about. It's something to do with a bunch of sisters, obviously. They all have wild red hair, I think, cascading down their backs. And it's just about all their adventures and how all their stories are linked, I think, and just about their lives and their loves and their ups and downs and stuff like that. And it just sounded really good. So I picked it up. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was like €7 or something like that, and it's brand new. And yes, it just sounds like something that I could sink my teeth into, and I'm really looking forward to it. And then I have another few books here which were all kindly donated to me by Katie over at Katie Loves to Read, because she was giving them away and I said I would kindly give them a home, because who am I to pass up some free books? So I will show you them to you now. And the first one is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. And we were just talking about Sarah J Maas and I was saying how I wanted to read this but I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy it. I'd probably get it from the library, and then Katie said that she was going to give her copy away anyway, so she brought it to me and I'm looking forward to reading this really soon, because I just want to see what it's about. I want to see what the fuss is about. The next one is Our Endless Number of Days by Claire Fuller. This is just about a little girl, I think, who's raised in the woods by her father, and it's just to do with the mystery around that, and I've heard pretty good things about it, so I'm looking forward to reading it. And then there's also World After by Susan E. I have the first book in the series, Angel Fall, and I haven't gotten around to it yet, but hopefully soon. And this is just the second book in the series, so I said I might as well take it, seeing as I do have the first one, if Katie was giving it away, so there we go. And then the last one is The Obelisk by N.K. Jemisin. Katie got two books from the publishers by accident, so she was giving one of them away. I haven't read the 5th season yet, but it's something that I am planning to read really, really soon. And I have read the first book in the Inheritance series, The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin, and I did really enjoy that, so I do have high hopes for her writing that I will enjoy it, and this is definitely something that I will eventually get to. And I'm happy to have it, so thank you very much, Katie. And I almost forgot a very, very important book, Ghosts from Our Past, both literally and figuratively, by Erin Gilbert and Abby L. Yates. This is the book from the Ghostbusters movie. It is a real thing, and I am so, so happy it is a real thing. I saw this the day after I went to Chapters with Katie and Leanne when I said I wasn't going to buy any more books, and I had to break it for this book because I needed this book as soon as I saw it in the bookshops, because I didn't even know it existed in real life, and I just had to have it. I had to have it. So this is the last book that I've bought, and hopefully I will not be buying any books for the next couple of weeks. There is DepCon. I will probably buy a couple of books at that. I am going to London at the end of the month, and I'm going to visit a friend, but she's going to be in work for one of the days I'm over there for a few hours, so I'm going to have some hours to kill. So I'm obviously going to be going around to Waterstones and Foyles, and maybe the place that buys or that sells the Persephone books, which I don't know what that's called, but I will look that up. So I will hopefully probably buy a couple of books there, but that's just kind of something to remember my trip by as well, and just get something special for that, so I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, I am going to try and restrain myself not to buy any more books, but mostly this month I'm going to be reading my own books anyway, so I'll be putting down that pile of TBR books that I need to read on my own bookshelf, hopefully. We'll see, I don't know. So please let me know what you think of this massive book haul. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!